Hey, Ryan Williamson here at Sourwood Farm. I've been mulling over something in my head for a while, so here's an experiment that I wanted to share. It's totally in the works. May work, may not. I think it will. But anyway, so it's spring here. We're kind of late March in Central Virginia, and I've got a lot of nukes down here that I'm going to be splitting soon and starting to raise queens and making some equipment using a bunch of random scrap wood. Always end up in this equipment shortage in the spring, and one of the things I'm looking at is I did not make enough bottom boards and lids. And there's also a really good evidence that if you make a split, putting it on top of another colony for the extra warmth, so the warmth from a strong colony moving up really helps that young split flourish a little more, because they don't have to expend quite as much energy raising the temperature in their colony as so they can raise more brood and grow. The concept a lot of people do is what they call double screen board. So you got this specialized device that sits between the two colonies that allows the heat to come through, but you have two screens that are separated just enough that the bees cannot communicate through. They can't touch, they can't sting, they can't transfer queen pheromone. And so they live in harmony, but one colony, the strong one down below, is helping the weaker one above that's growing. So rather than making specialized equipment, what's been mulling through my head is, what can I do to kind of use what I already have, maybe make something specialized, obviously, but use what I have and achieve the same goal without making a whole bunch of these double screen boards. What has been mulling through my head is I've got all these feed holes on the top of my colony. So it's a 2-inch hole that I drill, and it's this little plug that goes in. Drop that one. So the downside of these little plugs, they work nice, they're flexible. I can use the exact same plug in my feed buckets, is that over time the UV rays degrade them and they end up with a crack. Obviously we don't want that in the lid of our colony, so now I've got all these caps that are failing. And so what would happen if I bust that apart, kind of like this? Now I've got myself a hole. And obviously I would do this a little bit cleaner with 2 hands and maybe use some scissors or something, who knows, maybe just do that, who knows. And then I cut screen like this. One's a little bigger than the other. I don't know if I can do this single-handed, but I'm going to push that small one down the bottom and then fold the upper one that's a little bit bigger size like that. And now what I've just made is a double screen plug. Oh, that was kind of messy, one single-handed, but here's another one I just kind of whipped together. So that's the idea. All right, let's see. Looks like a mason jar would work as well. Sometimes I wish I did mason jar holes rather than the plastic ones, but I kind of picked a route and went that way. Yep, that looks like it works. So that looks good. The reason I decided to do them as 2 circles rather than 1 was trying to avoid the concept of using glue and just use friction, but knowing that, stuff does fail. And so maybe if the bottom one holds really tight and this upper one that's closer to the lip, if it starts to come out, the other one's there to help hold it in. So that way I have less chance of something falling apart. But that looks pretty good. I think that would work really well. Got some lids that have mason jar hole sizes, so I'll keep some of these in my van as well. I like it. I actually like that better than the plastic. Another reason maybe I should have gone the mason jar hole size and not the plastic. So now I've got a double screen cap like this, and I can take a lid and put it on top of my strong colony. So this is my really strong colony that's booming and doing great. And I've got this lid here with a hole in it. And now I can put my double screen cap in. Here's my nuke I just made up. Got the hole here open so that the bees can come and go. That's kind of critical because otherwise they'd have no exit or entrance. Heat can come up through that little cap with the hole, screened hole. And then I can add on a lid to my nuke like that, and bango, I've got myself a split on top of another colony, and their heat is coming up through that little plug. I don't know if this is enough room, but I think it would be enough to let a decent amount of heat through. And I don't have to be stocking a whole bunch of double screen boards, but any lid all of a sudden can become a double screen board. Or I've got all these homemade inner covers I made, and this is this is the foam used on zip sheathing, and it's got this fiberglass coating on either side of the foam, but the weakness of that is, let's see if I can pull this out, right around in here where I drilled the hole through, the bees would start chewing that foam. So once again, taking these plugs, oh, I just broke that one. But I could put those in to protect that weak foam. But now, hey, I could just put one of these plugs in just like that. And any of my inner covers can also serve as a double screen board like that. And so now I've got my double screen board going there, or double screen plug. Nuke, make sure I leave the entrance open so the bees can come and go, and lid, and I've made a split. I think ideally this entrance would be facing backwards from the colony entrance would be on the other side. But wait, what if our split is going in a box that doesn't have this nice bored hole entrance? That's really handy, but most boxes don't have those. All my 10 frame equipment doesn't have a bored hole. So then what I would do is, I'll flip that around so we don't even have that distraction, is I use building shims, right? Nice, long, skinny ones. Some of the big box companies make them really short. They don't work nearly as well. And I'll just see if I can do this one-handed in a convenient way. There we go. So now with the long ones, you can see there's no place for robbers to come and go. I now have a nice 3/8 inch entrance that's actually mouse proof. We'll throw our lid on and split is good to go. If it's a 10 frame box, maybe I don't want an entrance that big. I can add one more shim going kind of sideways, and that blocks off about half of the entrance. And that's just an easy way. So what I do in my bee van is I always have a box of shims with me. And I mean, talk about cheap, and any lid, anything can then become a upper entrance. Pretty cool. Hey, I think this could work. I'm gonna play around with it this spring, see if it works out. I generally, let's say I purchase a product, I don't think I would feel comfortable doing a video and trying to promote something I haven't tried and vetted for at least a year or two. But hey, this is just an experiment, and so there's no money involved, right? So why not promote something that's an idea and see if it works? Be curious if anyone else has done something like this, and if you had any results that were positive, I hope, or negative. Thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one. Bye.